Hi, I'm Holly with Gorge Makers Collective, and you can find us on Facebook, Gorge Makers Collective. And I'm going to show you today how to make a new mask that's going to help cut down the time. And it's a washable mask that we can get a lot more masks out of our community. So let's get started. Here we go. So this is a guide that you can use that will be with this package on our Facebook page that you can download, okay? This has the markings for our new nose stay. This is like a bendy tie that you can order online. It's for coffee bags. So we'll put that source online for you if you want to get some. If you're outside of our community, if you're in our community, you can pick these up at our spot where you're picking up materials. Okay, and then for this mask, we're going to use raw cut Lycra, and this is 3/4 inch by 7.5 inches. All of this will be in your little kit for this new pleated mask. This is the pleated mask. Okay, so let's get started. This is a fusible interfacing that we're putting into this mask, and this is a great way to have a filter in your mask. It's a great way to capture the virus. It brings up the rating quite a bit from just cotton, and it's washable, so no need for an additional filter. This is acting as your filter. First, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this in half. And I'm gonna plug this earpiece right into the fold. There's a notch there where the fold's gonna be. Okay, and then this can actually, if you have these binder clips or even a paper clip, this really helps. Just hold this upper elastic to the top here, just for placement, because it is stretchy and it can get a little, so then you want to make sure it is untwisted and you don't get any folds. And we're going to take this, right down to the notch. Okay, and we're going to pinch that right at the notch and right into the fold. And we're going to start at this left-hand corner, the left bottom corner. This is what I found the easiest way to get started here. Okay, and we're going to start at 3/8. We're going to back tack, make sure that's really secure since it's going to get a lot of tension. Okay, and then we're going to move this out of the way so we're not sewing on top of it. And we're going to continue on 3/8. Okay, and at this point, I'm going to go a little further before I get rid of that clip. Okay, at this point you can get rid of the clip. Make sure it's not twisted. Just I'm putting my finger right there to secure it. And then making sure you still have your 3/8 of an inch to work with here, okay? So you don't want that coming up into that seam or it won't pull out of the seam correctly. Okay, so give yourself a good fat, like 1/2 inch to 5/8 there, okay? Just to make sure you have the clearance. Okay, we're gonna back tack for torque, okay? And we're gonna pivot, and we're gonna go to this first notch, and that's where our casing is. And we're gonna back tack, okay? And then we're gonna stop, and we're gonna just lift this out and come right over here to this notch. Don't even stop to clip the threads. You can do that later. Okay, this one, we're gonna tuck this in here and make sure it's not twisted. Okay, and our notch is down here. It's at about like 1 1/4-ish. Okay, I'm gonna take this binder clip out now. Make sure I'm allowing that space about, I don't know, about 1/2 inch to 5/8, just to make sure you're in the clearance there. I'm gonna back tack the notch and down to the corner and pivot. Okay, and then I'm gonna down here, just checking to make sure that Lycra is out of the way. It's hard to feel it because the fabric is so lightweight, being raw cut goods like that. At this point, you can binder clip it too if that helps you secure it down to that corner. When you're coming around that corner, you can transfer that binder clip. We're going to go all the way down. Okay, so now we're going to reverse this out. And I like to start with like my thumb up in this corner, and you can You can corner this, and then roll it out, and it a lot of times it creates a nice sharp corner. So what I'm doing is I'm sticking my thumb here, I'm pressing down and pressing back, and then it's creating a corner, and if you roll that back out, a lot of times you can get that corner to turn pretty nicely. Okay, so then we're gonna go to the bottom corners. So you have these all turned out. If you have a seam ripper that has a nice sharp back on it, but not too sharp that's gonna poke through, you can use that to help. Okay, there we go. So now you have these seam allowances that are up here. What you're gonna do is just encourage those to tuck in. Okay, so you're gonna tuck them in at the 3/8 seam allowance that we've allowed. Okay, so you can just finger press that. It helps to like lay it flat and be finger pressing that, and then pull that so that you see that both edges are aligning there. Okay, and then we're gonna go to that notch mark, which is right here at this little dot, and we're gonna head down. We're gonna start at the top here and reverse. And we're making our casing for our new nose stay. And at about a 1/2 inch there. All the way down to the next dot that you'll see on your fabric. Okay, and you're gonna turn and pivot so you are creating like this little pocket that's open at the top, and you have your seam allowances tucked in. Okay, so now I'm gonna slip this nose stay just right here on top. Okay, and then I'm gonna go back to this corner, and I'm gonna start at the very corner edge here. Okay, I'm gonna start here, and I'm gonna tuck this guy all the way up against that inside seam. I didn't leave myself a ton of room. I did more of 3/8, but you really should be doing a 1/2 inch. So make sure it's like a 1/2 inch little pocket you're creating so you don't run up against a teeny tiny edge to sew on, like I am right here. Okay, and all the way to the end. So you just close that pocket, being really mindful that you're catching both sides there so that nose stay can't slip out. Okay, and then you're gonna pivot at the corner. And then you're gonna sew down, you're gonna be mindful of where these dots are on your fabric. So if you can see, these are just tiny little dots that I've made, but these are the indicators for the pleating. Okay, so the way that they line up, it's 3 pleats. And what I'm doing is I'm gonna have my binder clips ready. These help a lot in this process. So I'm gonna pinch both sides like this. I'm gonna pinch about 3/8 of an inch on both sides, pinching that. Okay, I'm gonna lay it down. I'm gonna kind of pull it taut so it makes a nice, clean, straight edge here. Okay, I'm gonna start sewing until I can kind of catch that first pleat, and then you're leaving the needle down, and then you're gonna see that next dot there. And that is going to be your next indicator of your next pleat. It's going to tuck right, that back side of that second pleat is going to tuck right up next to that front edge of the front pleat. And I'll show you in a second what I mean by that. Okay, and then you're going to go to the next pleat, and you're going to do the same thing. This is just the trickiest part to like get a hang of it, and then it starts humming right along. So then we're going to continue on to the end. And we're going to pivot. We're going to put the needle down, and at this point we're going to lift the presser foot, and then we're going to go over here and we're going to arrange these pleats and use a binder clip. So what I'm going to do is line those up, and what you can do is kind of give it a tug. Your needle is down over here to help you hold that side, making sure that everything is aligning and it's straight. And then this helps to just keep everything in order. Okay, so there we go. And then we're going to keep going along. This edge stitching, the bottom edge of the mask. Okay, we're going to go take it to the corner and pivot. And we're going to come up here. What I do is I'm going to hold my hand here The other thing that you can do is cut a piece of cardboard that is about the size of this mask. You can lay it on top and just have a handle on that the whole time. That actually works really well as well. Okay, so my pleats are arranged. I'm going to just be holding on here and making sure that everything is lining up. It's kind of tough because you're going against the current here on these pleats, so just being mindful that you're not scooting them back, that you're just helping them along. You can kind of tuck your fingernail under, just trying to like make sure that they're staying in alignment. Okay, and then to the end. Bam, and you're done. It's about half of the sewing time from the other masks we were making. And if you still have the other masks, go ahead and continue making those, but this is just another option. So thanks again so much for participating. And again, this is the mask that this bendy folds around the nose. These are for the ears. You can also do the tie straps, and you can use the cording. This is has many options for the way it attaches to the head, and there'll be indicators of that on our page. Thank you so much for participating, and stay well out there.